a lot of artists I see doing well and I admire are ones that are like really kind of work oriented. Like they know what they're doing and they're really about their business, right? Like I've seen a lot of people just like they create this big ego before anyone even knows who they are, or they release a certain amount of things. Like I like artists that just focus on like their own thing and then like their image comes naturally, right?
Of course.
Like I see a lot of people try to create like a front like first, and it's just like, let's see what this person can do. Like, you know, like do you have the raw footwork, like, and like have you ran the miles, right? Like so I like to see artists that are really like creative and like, you know, more focused on what's going on behind the scenes as to like kind of making a cool image, right?
Welcome to the Coffee and Banana Podcast, where we speak to entrepreneurs, thought leaders, executives, artists, and other cool people while grabbing a cup of coffee. In today's episode, we have the pleasure of speaking with Micky Valens, General Manager at Safe and Sound Entertainment, who will be speaking on Vancouver's nightlife, his involvement with many nightclubs in the city, Safe and Sound Fest, which started in 2017, featuring Dvsn, Majid Jordan, Anders and Paak, Vince Staples, just to name a few. All that and more on today's episode of Coffee and Banana.
Welcome everyone to the Coffee and Banana Podcast. I'm your host, Kane, Dabir, and I have the pleasure of speaking to my main man, Micky Valens. How are you doing, Micky?
Good, man. Pleasure's mine.
Thank you, sir. How do you like your coffee?
It's pretty good.
I mean, like, what do you like inside it?
What do I like inside it?
Yeah, like, what kind of coffee guy are you?
I like espresso.
Got you.
I like lattes lately, I guess. I can't drink a black too much anymore.
I see.
Yeah.
What was that place we went to the other day? You give me, what was that, almond? Is that almond latte?
I think we went to Nemesis.
Yeah, the one by Hastings, off Hastings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a cool place.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
I go there every day pretty much.
Oh, word. What's your everyday routine when you get up?
I usually wake up and if I don't got any early meetings, I'll just, I'll usually roll a joint and then walk over to the coffee shop.
I rock with
that. Because I can start my day a little later, right? So I can, some days I like to get myself right out of the bed, but some days you want to just start slow, right? Like today.
And are you a hybrid kind of guy or what's going on?
I'm usually hybrid towards the indica side. I never really do like one or the other, like full on. Like indica hybrids are my go-to like day to day. If I'm like drinking, I like sativas because they like perk me up a little bit.
Dope.
But I never go full sativa. But once in a while, I'll go full indica if I just need to get knocked out.
Got you. So, Micky, for the people who don't know who you are, how would you describe yourself?
I'm just a dude. I like what I do.
Dope. And like, what's the main thing you want to be known by? You know, like, what is like Micky's title?
I don't really know what I want to be known by. I just like to, if I had to choose like,
because you do a lot of stuff and we're going to definitely dive into that today. But I would say for the main thing, like, would you say like Hello Goodbye is your main focus or Safe and Sound?
Probably entertainment. Like right now it's probably Hello Goodbye, but like awesome. Overall I just like doing things that I like, that are relevant to me, like, and kind of making something out of them, I guess. Dope. Like getting your habits and your hobbies and kind of like intermixing it with your career. That's what I like doing, like regardless, like in any industry.
And how did because you grew up in Richmond, right?
Yeah, Richmond.
How did that like shape you? Richmond
was cool. I had a lot of close friends from there. It wasn't too I really liked the city back then because the suburbs were so quiet, but like, it was cool. I learned a lot there. I could like kind of do my own thing.
How did you feel being the only white guy in the whole city?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. That's true.
You was getting all the mad Asian chicks.
Yeah, I grew up around a lot of different kinds of people from like different kinds of ethnicities and stuff. It's cool.
Dope.
I feel like very cultured because of that. That's one thing.
Well, if you were in Surrey, you'd be hella cultured, bro.
I lived there for a couple of years in Surrey too.
No way?
Yeah.
Sick.
I went back to Richmond after a couple of years, but I was there.
Dope. Was that like your parents? Like they moved around because of work? Or?
Yeah. We moved around with my mom. And after Surrey, was back in Richmond until I moved out, so that was good.
Were your parents like involved in the nightlife or entertainment?
Not even close.
Really?
Yeah.
And like, what made you say like, yo, this is what I'm gonna do?
I like music first, like music, and like obviously that includes a bit of nightlife, right? You want to be doing shows and going to shows. It's that energy, right? And then I got into hospitality. I
Dope.
thought that was cool. I thought bars were a cool place. Like you go there, it's
course.
social. Like I always had a cool thing about bars, right? So that scene there was a little more for me. It was more like hands-on social. I was kind of getting sick of being on my computer like 12 hours a day, making beats and stuff. Like it was great, but
Yo, talk about that. Talk about that. A lot of people might not know, but Man's Out Here was a producer, low key, and we spoke a little bit earlier about the drum thing. You definitely have this musical side about you that people don't necessarily know about. But explain about that a little bit.
Oh, I mean, like I was never a full-on producer, but like I was making beats, and I was after like years of like playing guitar, and like I played in a few bands when I was in high school.
Cool.
I like music for sure.
Nice.
It was just always cool, right? Whatever.
Who was like your artist coming up?
Man, there was so many. Like I can't even name them. Like obviously, I was on that pop punk wave when I was really young.
Oh, sick.
I started liking Guns N' Roses, some classic stuff, and then
Nice.
a bit of everything, right? Then obviously more hip hop based.
Got you.
You know, towards the end of high school, and that's where like the electronic beat making came into place because all that shit I learned about myself, put that on a computer, and like the possibilities were endless.
Dope.
There was almost too many possibilities though. Like some beats would take me forever to make. Yeah.
What about like goth? Did you ever get into like the goth sounds? That was popping like in the early 2000s. That was a thing.
Yeah, I'm happy to say I didn't.
So we won't find like a yearbook picture of you with like what, mascara on?
No, which is fine. Nothing's wrong with that, but it's not in my history.
Dope.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on Vancouver's nightlife? Well, let's say today versus like when you first started entering like 5 years ago.
I think when I entered 5 years ago, it was like it was on the tail end of like a big wave. Like it was really big, and then it kind of softened a little bit. And now there's a lot of cool stuff happening. It's building up slowly. We're doing what we can, right? Vancouver is a little more limited in terms of like population and also like legislation too.
Yes.
Compared to a lot of other cities. But there's definitely a lot of seeds here, and I do have faith in Vancouver's nightlife. And people always kind of downplay it compared to other cities, but you got to look at what is situated and what's going on. And like, you know, I think Vancouver's doing everything it should and can so far, but we just need a little more wiggle room. And, you know, I think legislation has to just loosen up a little bit. And
Definitely.
then I think everything's here. So like, we're talking like 5-10 years, and I think it will be a lot better.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
not that it's like it's good right now, but like there's a lot of potential, you know.
Of course, the city is like growing. I mean, like population is going up, as you mentioned. But like when it comes to legislation, like most people don't really get into that, and you have kind of like I don't know, front row seat at that, and you probably have a little bit more insight than we do. But when you're managing like Hello Goodbye, how is it like when it's 2 a.m. and you have to call? Be like, this is the last call, everybody else go, and the club is popping and everybody wants to be there, but because of your license you just gotta call it short on a weekday.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely like it's definitely a good problem to have, you know, not being able to accommodate everyone that wants to come in, which is cool.
Yeah.
And it requires you to like kind of operate a different way. But yeah, without going into too much detail, like I'd like to see a city loosen up a bit on like, you know, occupancy limits and
Of course.
table service rules and stuff. Just these things that make like a really cool culture possible in other cities. We could use a little bit of legal leniency, you know. So I'm always hoping for that, and I always advocate for it.
Before Hello Goodbye, what other places were you involved with?
I was doing Hello Goodbye and Bar None a bit, and I was working at some restaurants. I was helping out my buddy run a place called Nomad. I was working at the Diamond.
Nice.
Just like these like cool restaurants that like the Diamond is really beautiful, like second floor spot. It wasn't like it got late and I got pretty wild, but like it wasn't like a nightlife spot, but it was just really dope. So like
It was a restaurant. But what kind of food they have?
all kinds of food. Right now it's like really good. No, it was really good sushi, like Japanese. Now it's like just contemporary, I think, with some like Asian influence.
Awesome.
Last time I heard, don't quote me on that.
All right. So what is this place? I want to check it out. It's called Diamond.
Yeah.
Diamond. It sounds like an Asian name too. You know,
Yeah,
you
it
had
could
like
be.
Diamond or Sun. It sounds like an Asian ass place.
Yeah. No, it was a mix of everything. Like it was in Gastown, right? So a lot of that kind of clientele. But
Oh, cool.
yeah, they definitely had some Asian influence at the beginning, which is what my favorite probably thing they did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And now you're like on the other side with Yaletown at Hello Goodbye.
Yeah.
What changes would you say you brought to Hello Goodbye, or like how you set up the atmosphere?
Yeah, we really focused on our programming. Like we wanted some really good like music culture, so that's what Thursdays came about. And then we just really enhanced the VIP culture, like the table service and the presentations. Like we like people who come there and throw events and like represent stuff they're working on, right? So I always made sure it was a fun place to come in. Like, you know, we got signs and all these fun like celebrations for like, you know, your company, your new album, or your birthday or whatever. So like, we want people to go out, like, we like people to go out for a big night, you know? Like there's a lot of great bars that you can just kind of, you know, go here and there and stop by here. It's like a casual thing. But we want that place where like, you know, you want to really have a big night and like show your friends a good time. We want you to come with like big plans in mind, right? So we like to make sure we can give you a big night too, you know, full of flashing lights and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, that's really dope. Like when you're having an event, when you mentioned like a release party, I see like you go all out, you know, it's not necessarily like here's a bottle, do your own thing. You definitely create that experience for the person coming in, like and everybody around. They're like, oh shit, this is going down. Yeah,
it's a bit of a script to it sometimes, you know, like you need to like make sure like songs are huge too. Like we like to give people their songs too, right?
Nice.
They're kind of creating their own movie, their own memories, right? So like, of course, especially when it's an artist, like you gotta have that song, and like presentation is big too. Like I said, like if you're an artist, like you should be making a scene, right? Yeah. Making memories, and like it's not kind of like fun marketing, you know? It's like this is how we came and represented our new album, like you guys did, right? Definitely. And like I see that side of it because
Shot Crescent.
Yeah, I was Shot Crescent. You know, I was all about in music. Like it's a big part of my life. So like I know like what I would want, you know, on that side. So like I work with that.
Sick. That's dope. When it comes to artists, of course, we just spoke about Crescent. What are some like artists, whether it's in town or out of town, that would be at your club?
You know, there's actually a lot of artists coming through lately, and I love it because it's a good community. I'm so sorry if I forgot anyone's name, but we got obviously Crescent coming by, DK. 94, Terrell Safety.
Oh, Terrell.
He probably parties with me the most.
Yeah, he's dope.
Everyone else has to keep up.
He's actually on tour right now with Yellow.Wav.
Yeah, I don't know if you know that. He came by for his after party, actually.
Oh, yeah, he was there the 19th.
Yeah.
19th of this month, whenever this is going to be out.
Yeah, we had Codis from Victoria come through as well.
Codis.
Boslin, of course.
Boslin, dope.
You know,
we had Louis Rain. It's the other time.
Yeah, I met him. Yeah. Nav came through late last year too.
Oh,
with some EXO. That was really cool. 88 Glam as well. They came by a little before that.
Dope.
Yeah, we had Jax come through. Local guy, I think. Whoever I forget is gonna kill me.
Well, you had Calm Down a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, Calm Down was there Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good scene. You know, it's just like it's a place that supports every kind of culture, right? Like, you know, music, business, everything.
Of course.
It's colorful. You know, it's not like one thing. It's very diverse. That's what we like.
And is that like, was that like organic? Did you guys like, oh, it just happened like that? Or were you like, yo, we're going to try to target these people and try to make our like club or our lounge cater to this audience?
Well, you know, the first thing, shout out Cole James.
Cole James.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't forget his name. Yeah, we had a show with his.
Okay.
And also Not Okay Gang, which half their group is, they work with us as well at Hello Goodbye.
Okay, so
those are my boys, Not Okay Gang and Cole James.
Not Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out Cole
so
James.
Talented though. I love seeing those guys do that. I see firsthand what they're doing because they work for me, half of them. Sick. So it's really cool.
Nice.
But they did a bit of a show, and like that caught a little bit of traction. And honestly, it just like it was my plan this year, and like it just kind of picked up faster than I thought. You know, like on the 7th we had Jax, and we had the 14th Terrell. A4 did a real big one.
A4. Shout out A4
and Killy.
Shout out Andy Shea.
Yeah, Andy Shea. Andy Shea I'd known for a while actually. When Hello Goodbye first opened, he was a DJ a couple times helping us out.
Andy Shea was a DJ?
Yeah, he was spinning the decks at Hello Goodbye when it first opened, you know, because like we were kind of having a lot of people involved in our company like roll through and spin, right?
That is cool.
Before we had our established program, so that was super cool.
Yo,
nice. But A4 had a big one February 17th, and then March had a few, and now it's like regular, just catching on now, you know, like there's a lot. Every second Thursday we got, and it's not just artists, we got Crown the Queens, like local companies like that doing their thing.
I would like to take this moment to remind everyone that we are on all platforms, including YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast from. Please leave a comment where you can, and it would be incredible if you can leave a positive review on iTunes. Well, if iTunes is still around by the time you hear this, let's spread the coffee and banana movement. Today's episode is sponsored by Lords of Gastown, a lifestyle brand out of Pacific Northwest motorcycle culture. I know, kind of random, right? Well, nothing's random with coffee and banana. Come on, son. Visit their website at lordsofgastown.com. That's Lords, LORDSOFGASTOWN.com. I hope I said it slow enough that you got it. If you like tats, motorcycles, Aquaman, then this might be for you. It's the epitome of everything that's cool. Check out their Instagram too, at Lords of Gastown. They got some cool stuff. For more information regarding our sponsors or our guests, be sure to check our website at coffeeandbanana.com. We will be introducing a new segment on our show called Coffee Tunes, where we introduce songs that you should be listening to, selected by the Coffee and Banana team. Today's song is To the Moon by Alon.Wav. That's ALON.WAV. Alon's music is next level. For the fans of dark trap mixed with some melodic bars, To the Moon is a straight banger. This track was on loop when I first heard it, and it's definitely worthy of your save on the playlist Apple Music or Spotify. That's To the Moon by Alon.Wav. And shout out to their production team, Praxis Sound. And now, back to the regular programming with Mickey.
You had that studio recently. Is it New Tone? Is that what it's called?
New Tone Studios.
Yep, New Tone. Shout out them.
Yeah, shout out to Bijan.
Bijan.
Yeah, that was a really cool event too. And he does clothing and like a bunch of other activations. So like...
Lots of talent in the city.
Yeah, you know, and that's just like, it's not even like halfway through the year yet. And we've already captured so much of Vancouver. So like, that's what we want to build, like bringing together like... You know, it's just a small little club, right? But bringing people together in that kind of space, only good things can happen.
Yeah.
You know, and like I see so many artists come out and support other artists, right?
Yes.
Yesway from Toronto.
Yo, shout out him.
Yeah, you guys came through to his event. That was a big time too. So
Definitely.
thanks Yesway for rolling through for sure.
Yeah, Alessi setting that up,
Yeah.
from Toronto. That's really cool. I want to transition a little bit. I want to talk about just overall. I mean, I guess this probably happens often, but do you ever turn down service? Like, do you ever like look at someone and be like, "I'm sorry, man. Like, you're not coming to my club," or your whole crew, this is not rolling through?
Well, yeah, sometimes. I mean, like usually it's like we aren't able to accommodate everybody. So, but like we really focus on like, you know, bookings and stuff. But some people, they're too intoxicated. And keep in mind, like when they come into our late night spot, they're usually the most, right? So if they already come showing up like they're pretty, you know, it's like they're gonna have more in there, so you gotta be careful with that. Energy too, like, you know, if you see guys like, I see some guys in line like just like being mad that like a girl walked by and like they touch shoulders. I'm like, you're gonna be like that aggressive like outside? Like it's energy too, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like you can't just, you gotta be very focused because like it's a small place, so it's like it's very sensitive, right? So if you got people in there with bad energies or look too aggressive or in a bad state of mind, you gotta be careful of that, right? Because that's gonna spoil people's experience.
Of
so
course.
like sometimes we have a turn down service, of course, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like we can't always accommodate everybody, and we want to make sure it's always a safe environment. Like first of all, right? So like these things help that. I mean, even if like there's someone too drunk and they're bothering people, like maybe it's harmless, but like you came to our spot and you had that experience, it reflects on us, right? Easily. I mean, in a bigger club, it's a little easier to hide, I guess, right? But you know, I like it to be a spot full of good energy people, right? So you always gotta be wary of, you know, what they've been doing and like how they look and their energy when they come through.
Of course, energy is everything, my man. Okay.
Not to sound all spiritual, but you know.
Yeah. Get into numerology.
Body
next.
language and all that.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a thing. I mean, like, you can pretty much tell if somebody's coming in and like the vibe's not right. What is like the craziest thing that someone, some gal or some guy did trying to get your attention? Like, yo, I'm trying to come to your club, and maybe it's like, here's this much money. I'm trying to come in, or this girl's like flirting with you. You know, does this situation like that happen?
Yeah, I had a guy actually pull my sweater over towards him, and I knew him too. I was like, nah, bro, that was rude. Like that's one thing. Like if you show disrespect, like I probably won't accommodate you that night. You know what I mean? Like if you snapping and being impatient. Like, you know, if we're dealing with something and like, you know, well, what's up? We'll come right there. And like 3 minutes goes by and you start freaking out. Like that kind of energy. Yeah. Like, I don't want that energy, right? That kind of energy is like, you're going to freak out at the staff, people, you know, like that. So like, that's not that crazy, but like, you know, like people literally like yeah, you touch my clothes and like pull my shirt when I'm like
Yeah.
working. Like that's crazy. Come on.
Jesus.
I didn't like that.
And when it comes to like, okay, so I'm like, I've seen your team, and you have a very solid team at Hello Goodbye. Like, how did you like select them, or how did you like filter to the specific team you have today?
My team's amazing, and we started small, so like we were like really close at first, and like a lot of the team that's there, my main man Brock, our servers, like, our bartenders, like it's like they grew with us, so it was really close that way. So anyone new that came in, we want to make sure they're on board too, right? That they're kind of the same kind of vibe as us, and like they work hard, they kind of take pride in the place, right?
For sure.
Not just coming through to like make some money and clock out, you know. We kind of want them to feel the vibe. So we like staff to be very like involved in what's going on, like as industry events, industry initiatives, like just kind of like caring about like, you know, like doing the best for like the industry you work in, right? So it's like we like people that see our vision as well. And I mean, obviously, like, you know, you work in nightlife, right? It's going to be a side job to a lot of people, but I like people who enjoy it, right? Because it's better for them, right?
Yeah.
Nothing like seeing a worker just like not feeling it. You always want to check out with them, be like, are you good? Like, can I do anything? Like, you know, obviously I'll have you here if you're working, but like, I just, you know, I want people to like have fun, right? Because like that's, people do the best when they're having fun at work because they like the experience, right? Like the atmosphere. Yeah.
No, it's really solid. I mean, like at your place, like Hello Goodbye, I was even telling you, like, I'm not necessarily a fan of going clubbing, or like Vancouver just turned me off so badly because I would just go to these clubs and I'm like, one, if the music's shitty, I'm not a fan, you know, already turned off. I'm like, oh, you're playing stuff that was relevant like 6 years ago. But you just right off the bat, like your selection of DJs is on point. You play the best music, and the crowd is more sophisticated. Like you go in there, you can actually have a conversation with the people. And the fact that you have sometimes like random influencers like King Bass show up, it's kind of lit because it turns into like a networking event where everybody around you is pretty much relevant in their own field, and you have a good time, but at the same time it can also turn into business down the road.
That's the thing, man. That's why it's good, like, for everybody, including artists and people doing their own thing with fashion or their own industry. It's good networking, right? So like definitely those like that turns into opportunities down the road.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. So, Hello Goodbye, man, it's lit. I respect everything you do over there, and you, I would say you run a tight ship, but like at the same time, like you give your team like almost like freedom to make their own decisions as well. They kind of understand like the ethics that you've put forth. Like, hey, I'm gonna lead by example, letting you guys know that we're gonna make sure that everybody is, like, let's say dressed nice or comes with a certain like apparel. It has a certain energy, as you were saying, and just overall want to have a good time without ruining other people's evening, you know?
Exactly.
And that's like super dope, man. I want to speak on Safe and Sound. What is Safe and Sound?
Safe and Sound's an entertainment company. You know, we've been around for 2 years now, and it's rooted in nightlife. It runs 5 spots in Vancouver. And it's kind of, it's a bit of everything. Like, you know, there's a lot of cool things Safe and Sound's gonna go into. It's a very open, creative company. So I'm super excited for us to develop, and like, you know, like my bosses Paul and Akio are like always talking about stuff, and like I'm always stoked to see what they have down the pipeline, right? Awesome. I want to be the first one to know and see what's up, like, because I know they're trying to like expand just like, you know, the whole portfolio, right? And like we're always, us three are really open minded. We like a lot of cool ideas, and we always talk about ideas. So like, it's right now it's rooted in entertainment and hospitality. Yep. But I'm stoked to hopefully see it just like expand like in every way.
Definitely. So. And we were speaking earlier that you said that 2017 is when you guys officially started, and then that's when you guys had your first festival. Speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, August was the 2017 was the first festival. Dvsn and Majid Jordan, they headlined it, and it was like the sickest thing I've seen.
That's really dope.
It was really cool. You know, I've never, like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with festivals. So Safe and Sound doing their first festival.
Where was it, by the way?
New Westminster Pierre Park.
Okay, cool.
Unreal spot. Yeah, it's right by the water. It's new. We were the first company to do something there, like a music fest there.
Awesome.
It holds like 5,000 people.
5,000. That's solid. That's really solid.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And like, it's it looks so aesthetically pleasing. So it's really cool, like atmosphere at a festival. I mean, you're kind of used to packing kids into an arena, right? This is more of a sophisticated experience festival. Like so many pop-ups, like from like food to cannabis to everything, right? And
Nice.
Such a good array of artists, and you know, it felt like you were there for the music, you know.
Dope.
Yeah, there's a lot of different kind of festivals in Vancouver, but this one I found had its own niche. So
Yeah, with Dvsn and Majid Jordan, like those aren't acts that necessarily are headlining many festivals out there. And I'm a huge fan of Dvsn. I would say, like, when I heard their first project, I was like, yo, this is crazy. And we were speaking earlier, like Drake just knows, you know, he just knows who the best people are. You know, when he signed Majid Jordan, that was sick. And then Dvsn, and then Party Next Door. It's kind of like the best people at is Dvsn Canadian? Do you know if they're Canadian?
I want to say so, but like, don't quote me.
Okay. Well, if they are, like, man, that's another dub for Canada for sure.
I like Toronto, man. It has its own sound. I like that in that sense. Like the people Drake signs, like you can tell it's different. It has its own like ground.
Yeah, each artist like sounds so much different than the other one. With Party or well, actually Preem I'd say is the most. It's probably the only rapper. I'm trying to think in the OVO label. I think Preem is probably the only rapper.
Is he from Toronto?
Yeah, he's from Toronto.
Yeah, Preem is good.
AKA P Rain. No, he's dope. He comes here a lot. You know, and he's got that new joint with Wayne right now. Actually, no, who's that other? It's gonna kill me.
I know the Post Malone one.
Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's sick. But he just dropped another track.
Yeah, I've been hearing his name a lot more lately, actually, which is exciting. I only learned he was with OVO/Canadian like recently too.
Bro, like he's been out here for a minute because like he did songs with who's that rock group where Headley? I think he did a song with Headley.
They're from Vancouver.
Are they?
Yeah, I've met the frontman a few times.
Oh, crazy. He was in the first American Idol.
Yeah.
He lost in the first American Idol.
I remember because I was living in Surrey then, and his like cousin was living in the same apartment complex as me, so she'd go nuts over him, and like he got a little bit big in that era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's huge. He's got a fan base, so he does his own thing.
Yeah.
That's solid. So would we see like someone like Headley at your festival?
I mean, not that I know of. I don't really handle the bookings, but I can't see it happening. But
Nothing's wrong with Headley. Let's be nice. Let's, use that Canadian spirit and let's just thank everyone, including our sponsors. Thank you, Lords of Gastown, for sponsoring Odd Podcast. Check out our Instagram too and TikTok page. Add Coffee and Banana. We will be giving out some exclusive Lords of Gastown content, which is some hats, clothing, overall dope stuff. Their clothing brand is inspired by motorcycle lifestyle, so I'm sure there's some dope stuff there that you'll enjoy. Another thank you to everyone for listening thus far. I hope you still got your coffee in your hand as you maneuver through the day. A final reminder to rate, comment, and share our podcast. Let's spread the Coffee and Banana word and let's just pop off, Let's just spread the news. And now, back to our regular programming with Mickey.
you never know, right?
But last year was dope as well. You guys had Anderson .Paak and Vince Staples.
Yeah, Vince Staples was sick. Anderson .Paak, Anders.
Dope.
Anders is actually NST was one of the first people to roll through to Hell Goodbye, actually, like even before these release parties, 2018.
Okay.
So like, let's not forget them, right? Like we had a lot of great times in that club with NST.
Dope. And what were they promoting when they came through your club? Was it just like Diamonds just came out?
Yeah, Anders just released like a really cool documentary about the cities he went to.
I see.
And it was part of that, and that album was coming out. We still have those cups, styrofoam cups saying NST and 2s, the 2 dice on them.
Oh, sick.
So like that album coming out, like he released that stuff at Bar None for the first time in Vancouver, and we had a really good turnout. So that was a really fun time. We spent 5 days in Vancouver. I took them. We were at our club like 4 times, and they went to a bunch of other clubs too. Like that was a fun time when they first all came out of Vancouver.
That's dope.
So like Anderson .Paak, Vince Staples, like London Drugs was there too.
Dope
it was
stuff.
it was a really cool collection of people, right? It was 2 days now as well. So
Nice. So like working with, of course, you got Hello Goodbye, Safe and Sound. You work with a lot of artists. is there like any advice you could give a young artist that's watching this right now? Let's say he's in high school or she's in high school and be like, Mickey, give me some juice. Tell me what to do.
You know, like a lot of artists I see doing well and I admire are ones that are like really kind of work oriented. Like they know what they're doing and they're really about their business, right? Like I've seen a lot of people just like they create this big ego before anyone even knows who they are, or they release a certain amount of things. Like I like artists that just focus on like their own thing and then like their image comes naturally, right?
Of course.
Like I see a lot of people try to create like a front like first, and it's just like, let's see what this person can do. Like, you know, like do you have the raw footwork, like, and like have you ran the miles, right? Like so I like to see artists that are really like creative and like, you know, more focused on what's going on behind the scenes. That's like kind of making a, you know, a cool image, right?
Definitely.
I mean, you got to have your own style, right? But like, you know, I like artists that are coming in and just like, it's super easy to work with, and they kind of, you know, you could tell they live and breathe their movement and their like music, right?
They like, yeah, music is like the first thing, and that's an important thing you talk about, because like I mean, I speak to a lot of artists often in like similar business, but the main thing is like almost like they have to put on this act or this front, like almost like this tough guy, like look at me, look at this attention that I have, before they're even on or they've even made the quality music that can back that up. Most of the time you meet like the people with amazing music, amazing content, and then you look and they're the nicest people. You're like, how come it doesn't, like, it's usually the other way around, where the people with the best music should be the ones with the egos. But in my experience, in every field, whether it's like even acting or producing or directing, the best people are usually very humble and so focused on their craft and trying to perfect it day by day.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, image is important. Like that's your brand, right? Like if you're an artist, like, you know, what you wear should be specific. Like you should carefully pick what you wear to what you like and how you want to express yourself, and like, you know, your energy, and like, you know, but basically, you know, like if you look at an artist or someone doing the thing and you can see their image is well put together, but like you noticing like a, you know, less attention onto the actual music, that's when I feel like there's an imbalance.
Yes.
So like, you know, image is important, but like it's got to be coupled with a really good work ethic, right?
Of course.
And like always down to take opportunities. You know, so many people I see, it's like in every industry, saying no to opportunities that like would be good for them, but like people kind of think they're further than they are. So like I like seeing humility in that sense, you know, to just try a bunch of different things and like see what happens, right?
Dope stuff. So like for like 2019 or 2020, Hello Goodbye, or just in general, like, do you want to see more artists like getting into like hosting a night or having their release parties at Hello Goodbye? What's your goals for Hello Goodbye in the year?
I like to be the place where like, you know, all the creatives can feel comfortable like hanging out and doing their thing and just showing off what they do. Like I said earlier, like I like presentations. I like people just kind of living and breathing what they do. So like, it's real cool having someone just can come in and like, you know, just like network and represent what they are, you know, somewhere that like a lot of cool minds are together, right? Awesome. That's how I see it. So like, I want to keep that culture going, you know, music, fashion. Like I want to be a place where everyone can come together and like, you know, do them, like represent what you're about, hustle, network, have a good time, just let loose, right?
Exactly.
It's a very like, and when you're in a place, like if you're creative, you know, like you guys rolled in, and you know, Yesway is having a party. You're like, hey, there's going to be like, that's our scene, right? Like there's so many music people there. There's going to be videographers there, producers, you know, a lot of different names. So like you feel comfortable wanting to go there because you're like, you're going out to let loose, but you're doing it in an environment that is still conductive to like your work, right? Like every time you're going to go out to these events, like you're networking, right? You may even hear this new artist coming up doing a hosting, but like that kind of stuff brings people together, which is what I like about it, you know?
That's awesome.
I love music too. So like the fact that I'm running something involved with music is like close to me. So like that's where that came from, right? Music is a huge part of my life. So like that kind of creativeness, like I could put forward into things like this. You know,
that's really dope, man. That's really dope.
That's my goals, right? I mean, release parties are good everywhere. Obviously, I like invest in my club, but like,
of course,
you know, I want to see artists networking more. Like, it's important you get like big in that actual scene because, you know, internet grind is huge. You know, you're all over that. Like, but it's really good to have some good raw traction in your city as well, especially in the core. You know.
So you think that today is so important? Like, you can't just be like the guy behind your computer. You should be getting out and like getting out in these streets, coming out to these clubs, showing face to the people. You think that's still important today?
I mean, like, you could just stay on the internet, especially if, like, your niche is, like, more towards that.
Yep.
But I think it never hurts, right? Obviously, some people want to keep some kind of mystique, which is also a cool approach to some artists. Yep. But, like, I think, like, networking is just really good in general, right? There's a lot of people you can meet and just, just having that pull. Like, if you're going to be an artist and you want to have this kind of music and you want to, go play a show or even appear at a club and, you want to have that, like, pull where, like, all the girls want to show up there kind of thing, right? That's important. That's where the raw attraction comes from, right? Definitely. It's a mix of, like, knowing people. And, like, the more, like, if you're an artist and you know people that run these venues that host performances, host artists, you're also going to, have a better time working with them and getting the most out of it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, networking is huge, but, I mean, you can do anything, right? The internet's huge, too, but, like, I like to see people getting in there, getting their feet wet.
And to speak on it earlier, I agree with you. I think that internet is cool, but like if you're going for like a market that, hey, I want to make music for the nightlife, you should definitely come out to these clubs. Or else, like, if you're making music like more daytime or the weird rap, the strange rap, then that's all lit. Just continue doing you. But if you want to make music for the nightlife scene, you should be out there. You should see what's really popping. Like when the song, what's that one track that goes off? I got hoes called.
Yeah, Mo Bamba.
When that song plays, like, I didn't know that song if I didn't go to the clubs. I was hearing that before, like the DJs were spinning that before I would say the internet really caught on to it.
They were, and Check West is all over the clubs over in Toronto from what I've seen, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to like make club music, like you got to be out there. 100%, I agree with that because that's where you breed that culture, right? And that's cool. And Vancouver has a lot of Vancouver offers a lot of opportunities. Like there's a lot of people who just like make music behind their computer and they're not too social, and there's so many places for them to play. Like so many great DJs get to play as celebrities and they have huge followings, right? But also I like Vancouver to have a good culture for people who also want to make that club music and that more social stuff, right? So it's like, whether you're a producer that just is in your studio 12 hours a day, or you're that guy that's always out there and pushing your thing, downtown, like I think there should be stuff for both of that, places to go and like ways to show it off. So
of course, and like Hello Goodbye is a spot for it. I mean, like you got this guy to come out. I've been in hibernation for Lord knows how long, but like your club is dope, man. Like you bring different type of people, different whether it's like you're working in real estate, you're a developer, or you make hip hop music. You can all coexist in this one hub, and everybody's just having a great time. Whether it's a marketing or networking event or not, it's just a fun time. You just go there.
You come meet like cool people in the industry. You come meet other artists without even knowing they were there, right?
Exactly.
Every time you roll there is someone cool to meet that's relevant to your field of work,
That's awesome.
There should be like a very close separation, right?
And no, I rock with that a lot. And you and your team have built something amazing. So I want to give you props on that, my man. And
thank you,
I respect what you're doing for the culture, for the city, because this is your work will be seen maybe like in 5 years from now, where people are gonna be like, oh, how did you guys meet? Oh, we linked up at Hello Goodbye. Or how did this even start? Well, we met online or DMing, and then we went to Hello Goodbye, saw this artist, or I met this fashion designer because a few degrees of separation.
I hope
that's where it is.
You should see a few people that are relevant to your work field when you go there, right?
Definitely.
A lot of cool people go out. Yellowtown's a good neighborhood for that.
Awesome.
People doing cool things. I'm lucky to meet so many cool people in all kind of industries in Yellowtown.
Beauty.
Thank you so much to Micky Valens for coming on the show and providing some insight on Vancouver, the artists he's worked with, and his involvement with Safe and Sound. We hope that this episode inspired you to get out more. It's awesome to use the internet and go all baby no moolah and use it as a tool to promote yourself or build a brand. But it is another thing to host your own events, attend some cool ones in your city, and network. A huge shout out to the Coffee and Banana team, production manager Cole Weststeyn, audio engineer Ryan Lohr, and our wonderful sponsors at Lords of Gastown, and most importantly, you for listening. Visit our website at coffeeandbanana.com for more information about the episode. I'm your host, Kane Dabir. Enjoy some coffee and banana on the road to greatness.